go inside the Great Pyramid and we, for example, the subterranean shaft, when you look up from the subterranean shaft, you see that the shaft is cut through solid blocks all the way to the surface,
Yes.
right? And I'm thinking, if you're building this structure out of this solid stone, and you can't build the shaft at the same time that you're building this, because even the blocks are cut in an angle. You can see the perfect cut, the perfect angle going right down in. Is that a 65-degree angle? What angle that is?
I think 31 degrees.
31. Okay. The angle is perfect.
You talk about the blocks or the passageway?
The shaft going down to subterranean.
41, 42, I think that is. It's around 40 to 45.
So the point I'm making is, when you look at it, like when you go to the subterranean shaft entrance and you turn around and you look back up, you see that it's perfect.
Yes.
And you have to say, all of these shafts, if they could, it looks like you can't build it when you're building the pyramid. You can't cut them while you're building the pyramid, because you cut them, it seems like they're all cut after the pyramid was completed or something. I mean, what tool can cut through that much stone? And what about excavating all the debris? Does the debris vanish? Does it disintegrate? I mean, the technology, the understanding that they had, it still, I scratch my head every time I see it. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. And as I told, yes, this example is very interesting that, yes, it is, when you go from inside the Great Pyramid, I think the first 15 meters is inside the building itself. And then all the way, maybe more than 50 meters, it is cut into the bedrock.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, a very good cut, the square cut. Okay. Yeah. And then when you go, the room under the Great Pyramid is a huge room. Okay. And as you said, yes, they are telling us they have the ability to do it. But unfortunately, we use some excuses like the shape is not perfect, it is unfinished, it is not completed, it is dead end. No, these are excuses because we don't know what is going on. When we use other examples like the shaft under Saqqara Pyramid, and then there is a twin shaft, we call it the Southern Tomb, and there is a similar shaft called the Persian shaft. And there is so many in Saqqara and so many in Giza also. So all are leading to this fact, yes, there are more under the ground. If this is what we can see above the ground, no, there are much more under the ground. And yes, they are connected. Somehow they are connected, because it doesn't make sense that they are all individual shafts.
Right.
And the Assyrian shaft is a very good example for this. It's a perfect cut, and then there is a kind of a station, or the first floor, and then the second, the third. It looks like a perfect machine stand. You know, if you put big pieces of an engine or some kind of machine, it will work perfectly. And the last part will be the long part of the machine, where you have this movement, like this bar connected with the wheel of the car. So the two stations for the engine, and then the long shaft is for the movement, or the striation, the steering, or the movement, the result. You get there at the top, the movement, the circulation.
Right. So some type of a tool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone who saw the details of the SAR scan and has an idea about the Osiris shaft will make connections immediately. Maybe people who don't know about the Osiris shaft will say, oh, wow, this is great discovery, and they will be attracted by the discovery itself. But the other people who had this information about the Osiris shaft and the rest of the shafts will immediately say, this is a new section of the story. It is not a new story. No, it's a new part of the story. And there are more parts, by the way, are not discovered yet, but it will be discovered.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. This is incredible. Everyone, if y'all are listening right now, we're talking about the discovery at the Great Pyramid. I'm going to pull up some images here real quick. So we're looking at part of the scan here, showing these huge columns going down deep beneath the earth. And they go into these gigantic boxes. Now, I got some measurements from the data, and I was able to calculate the square footage. And it's so large down there, you can fit 64,000 people. That's big. That's massive. 64,000 people can fit down here in that opening beneath. And now what's crazy is these things are going down 2 kilometers. And I'm just wondering if these are solid one-piece columns or if they're, stacked columns to make it look like one piece. If these are one-piece columns, then this is out of this world. I mean, because you're talking about something that would be almost 2 miles long or whatever by itself, one solid piece. We don't know yet. We don't know if they're stacked, if they're kind of, built in stages. We don't really know. But regardless, this is astounding. The fact that this is beneath the pyramids at Giza, and this is just one part of a much bigger story. And we've been posting this meme for so many years, right? And it turned out to be true. It's like it's in our consciousness.
The first picture came to my mind when I saw the scan result.
Yeah. It's crazy. And just take a look at this, Muhammad. Okay, you see the Great Pyramid on the left, right?
Yes.
To scale against some of the tallest buildings that we have in the world. We see the Burj Khalifa on the far right. Now, I've been to the very, very top of the Burj Khalifa. And when you look out, you're looking down, everything, even the skyscrapers look like ants. And this makes everything look small, right? But then look at this. This is the Burj Khalifa. Now, based on the measurements of what they discovered in this scan, this is how it measures up to what's beneath the pyramids. This is crazy. You can probably fit 10 of these Burj Khalifas underneath that if you stack them side by side and put them on top of each other.
Right.
And the amount of work, labor, technology, engineering, and resources it took to build the Burj Khalifa, now take that back thousands of years ago and then try to duplicate that here. I'm just saying, I mean, we're missing something technological, like you always say, Muhammad, is missing from the puzzle. We don't really understand how advanced these people were, and they were using machines, sophisticated machines, to do this kind of work. Don't you agree?
Exactly. The level of technology here is beyond our imagination.
Yeah.
I remember Christopher Dunn was telling me, Mohammed, be careful when we talk about the technology we have. But I agree with you that, yes, there are so many things now can be explained because of the level of technology we have. And that's why we understand the challenges of doing these things, okay, because we have this kind of technology. But there are some other projects and sophisticated designs. We don't know how it was done because we don't have a similar tool to do it.
Right.
That is our problem. That thinking of doing the 2 miles pillar or even a hollow pillar, we don't have this technology to do it. At least to be fair, to do it easy. This is a lifetime project. If we will think we can do something like this, okay?
This is crazy.
And this is
the biggest discovery, and this is the biggest discovery in modern in recorded human history.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that the pieces of the puzzles are trying to show itself to us one after the other. I don't remember how many years ago, I think 2 years ago, when the second entrance was revealed inside the Great Pyramid. Remember the one above the original entrance.
Yeah.
But do you agree with me? Is it very strange that there are a few discoveries and so far we don't get final result of the research or what is going on? Like this second entrance inside the Great Pyramid. What is the story? Did they send a small camera? Did they send a robot? Did they do any? We don't know anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
They just keep it secret.
and also, I was very surprised when they announced about the scanning result that people started to attack them. Like, why you do this?
Yeah.
Why you attack a group of researchers, even if you think what they presented is wrong? But let's give them a chance to continue. Let's help them. Let's bring another group of scientists. Like I was listening to one of the TV channels, and the man kept saying, it is not scientific work. This is not on the basis of science. And he is not a scientist. This man is far away from science. So how come you keep using this word scientific and science? Okay, because as an Egyptian, it's a great privilege to have this kind of discussion. It will bring, if I will talk about the superficial level, it will bring so much business for Egypt. And if we talk about the scientific level, we will understand what was going on, how they made these systems and why. Because many people didn't ask this question yet. Why? If this is true, and I believe it is true, what was the purpose? Is it a big machine, like many people are trying to say, or shelters from the disaster happened a long time ago, or maybe from many disasters? Okay, so this discovery is going to give us very good answers about many questions.
Absolutely. And earlier you were talking about us going down into the labyrinth underneath the step pyramid at Saqqara. So I want to take a quick break to show them a quick 57-second clip.
Wash your head.
Yeah, I'm a duck. Wash your head right here.
Yeah, I'm too small. I don't have that much.
Same. I don't think they're pretty tall.
I guess the Egyptians, they were my size.
Underground tunnel at the step pyramid in Saqqara. Private tour. Make sure you put that link and register for the bit. Yeah, so that's just a short clip. Obviously, we kept walking and going down more than walking and going down, and just kept going down. And I go, wow, this is crazy. I remember I was with your son and my wife, and we got lost trying to come out one year. We were going in circles.
Yes. So you see, it is just, that is a small design, by the way. And you got lost. Okay. So imagine this design under the Lahoun pyramid. The Egyptologists call it the maze under Lahoun pyramid.
Wow.
It's like a maze. When this word goes to your brain, I want you to imagine a real maze.
Yeah.
You have to go with a guide in your hand, and the very early Egyptologists used to tie a rope around their waist so to not get lost. Okay, so they know where they are heading to, and there are hundreds of designs like this. Okay, but you know what? My hope, as I told you, I have no doubt that these are real. Okay. So maybe I didn't have this kind of great surprise, but I will be surprised if there is something we are going to find down there. Artifacts, maybe. That will be the surprise for me.
Yeah.
And that will be one of the short ways to understand what really happened back in the days and what was the story.